championship game in the first evening between Castleford and Featherstone Rovers. Featherstone Rovers players just come onto the field. Number 1, Chris Bibb. 2, Ian Smales. 3 is Alan Banks. 4 is Paul Newell. 5 is Paul Hughes. Number 6 is Graham Stedman. Number 7 is Derek Fox. The forwards are 8, Jeff Grayson. 9, Trevor Clark. 10, Carl Harrison. 11, John Bastian. 12, Glenn Booth. And 13, Peter Smith. Substitutes are 14, Danny Beach. And number 15, Gary Siddall. And the Castleford team just come onto the field. Number 1, David Druckley. Number 2, Tony Marchants. Number 3, Grant Anderson. Number 4, Giles Boothroyd. 5 is Chris Chapman. Halfbacks are number 6, John Joyner. 7, Roy Sunwood. And the forwards are number 8, Kevin Ward. 9 is Kevin Bademore. Number 10 is Kenny Hill. 11, Dean Sampson. 12, Keith England. And 13, Martin Kettridge. And substitutes are 14, Mark Gibson. And number 15, Phil Murphy. The referee for this evening's match is Mr. David Carter, all the way from Widnes. So there we are, John Joyner there and Derek Fox, the captains of both teams there, just shaking hands with the officials. So it'll be John Joyner getting ready to flip this coin in the air. Here he goes. Let's see who's won the toss. Looks like John Joyner winning the toss, so Derek Fox. John Joyner's stopping as they are, playing as we're looking at it from left to right. Castleford lost last 3 matches, playing comfortably at the top of the first division just after Christmas, being well clear, looks championship certainties, but since then they've had 3 setbacks. So Graham Stedman playing in the Featherstone Rovers colours this evening for the first time for a fortnight, getting the game underway. So it's Castleford in possession, halfway between the halfway line and their own 25-yard line. Gets up, plays the ball. So it's that big surge there, number 12 there, Keith England, trying to make headway up to the halfway line. Now it's Kevin Ward, but referee there, catching Featherstone Rovers offside. Mr. Carter there, looking at Graham Stedman. Graham Stedman just staring at him there, but Mr. Carter there, catching Featherstone Rovers offside. So Kevin Baymore there, having words with his fellow players. So it's Martin Kettridge playing in the unfamiliar role of Volks forward, usually a second row forward, Martin Kettridge. So it's Kevin Baywood with the ball now. That big ball there to number 11 there, Dean Sampson, usually a prop forward, playing in the second row for Castleford. So it's Beefy England going towards the Featherstone Rovers try line, but Jeff Grayson in the way there, making the tackle. So it's Castleford now, Kevin Ward. Kevin Ward, omitted from the team, what played at Leeds last Sunday. So it's Bademore there now, out to his brother there. Right. That's good play by Castleford. That's a try straight away for Castleford in at the corner. And once again, a terrible start for Featherstone Rovers. How many times have we said this over the last few weeks? That quick pair of hands there across the line there, and Roy Sutherland there to Kevin Bainmore. That quick pair of hands straight across the field that time. Just couldn't see who the scorer was for Castleford in the corner, but Giles Boothroyd. So Castleford 4, Featherstone Rovers 0. And once again, as I've just said previously, Featherstone Rovers had yet to touch the ball and falling behind to an early try. So it'll be Martin Kettridge sizing this goal up straight from the touchline side. He got the height, but he hasn't got the direction. So it's the score remains Castleford 4, Featherstone Rovers 0. So there we are. Graham Stedman resetting this match off again, and that's a brilliant kick by Graham Stedman. So that'll be Castleford, a drop out underneath their own posts. Good start for Castleford. That early try. So here we are, number 1 there, David Druckley taking his time, dropping this ball out. Down the middle of the park. Graham Stedman being caught in two minds, but leaving that ball there to Chris Bibb. Chris Bibb coming down the middle, being tackled on the halfway line. So penalty to Featherstone Rovers there, not Kevin Beardmore there, not allowing him to get up to play the ball. So here we are, Graham Stedman trying to put pressure on that Castleford defence. Losing by 4 points to 0. Makes progress to the Castleford 25-yard line. So it's Derek Fox with his tap penalty to Peter Smith. Peter Smith there, back to Derek Fox. Derek Fox there, number 10 there, Carl Addison. Carl Addison being tackled there by Martin Kettridge, number 13 for Castleford. So it's Featherstone Rovers now. Trevor Clark there to Derek Fox, to Jeff Grayson, to Graham Stedman. Graham Stedman now there to Paul Newlove. But Paul Newlove tackled there by number 3, Grant Anderson. So it's Graham Stedman from Acton Harpat now there to number 11 there, Glenn Both. But Glenn Both there being tackled. Number 11 there, Dave Sampson at the tackle. So it's Jeff Grayson there to Derek Fox. Derek Fox, that long ball out there now to Peter Smith. Peter Smith there, back there to Chris Bibb. Chris Bibb there taking the defence on. But Kevin Beardmore there making the tackle. So it's Featherstone Rovers now. Derek Fox with the ball now there to Jeff Grayson. Jeff Grayson throw the ball there, but Glenn Both there seemed to be tackled without the ball. Trevor Clark now there to Graham Stedman. Graham Stedman, that little kick through, it's all on, but Tony Marchant, that little bounce up for him there, gets that ball. And the game's hotting up now here at Weldon Road. Graham Stedman there making the tackle. So it's Rovers there, number 11 there, John Bastian making the tackle. So it's Castleford now trying to get out of their own 25-yard area, but referee pulling up there for an high tackle, but the Featherstone Rovers players seem to keep hold of him. Referee there having words with number 10 there, Carl Harrison. So penalty kick to Castleford now. Martin Kettridge looking for this touchline side. Just gains about 15 yards with that penalty kick. So it's number 9 there, Kevin Beardmore there, and number 11 there, Dave Sampson. But number 10 there, Carl Harrison, brings him to the ground. So it's Kevin Beardmore now there to number 12. That looked like a forward to me, but referee says play on. Number 12 there, Beefy England, being tackled just 10 yards short of the halfway line. Now it's Kevin Ward there, driving it in. That's a big drive there by Kevin Ward, firm favourite here with the Castleford crowd. So it's Castleford now trying to get that ball out. Number 10 there. Referee saying to Kenny Hill, you must play the ball for him. Castleford there now. So it's David Truckley looking for that touchline side, like little kick throw. But the ball's beating everybody, rolling dead. Here we go, the ball just rolling dead. It's still Castleford 4, Featherstone Rovers 0. So it'll be Trevor Clark to tap this ball out on his own 25-yard line. So there we are, Carl Allison with this ball coming down the middle of the field.
What about it tackling there, ref?
Kevin Ward there making the tackle. So it's John Bastian's turn to drive it down. Well, that's good tackling by Castleford. So it's Trevor Clark now with the ball. Trevor Clark back inside there, but referee there pulling Castleford up for offside. So another penalty kick to Featherstone Rovers. I'm sure Graham Stedman tried to gain as much ground advantage as he can with this kick. There he goes. Gains a good 25-30 yard with that penalty kick, Graham Stedman. So it's Trevor Clark, that tap penalty, just short of that Castleford 25-yard line. Jeff Grayson there to Derek Fox there to Glenn Both. Glenn Both halfway. John Bastian it is, but John Bastian there being held down. John Bastian, Glenn Both. Penalty kick to Castleford. So it's Martin Kettridge deciding to kick this touchline there, and that's a bad mistake, but Ian Toole takes that ball in. Smells running it in well. Ian Smells there seemed to be hit high there with that tackle. Referee says no.
Get your eyes up,
Oh, Jeff Grayson there to Trevor Clark, to Derek Fox, to Peter Smith there to Graham Stedman, but Castleford crowding round Graham Stedman. Number 12 there in at the tackle, Keith England. Ian Smell still having treatment on the floor, so it's Trevor Clark running it in. Trevor Clark trying to get a gap there, but number 3 there making the tackle, Grant Anderson. So it's number 4 now, Paul Newell. Castleford looked offside that time, referee says play on, so it's Jeff Grayson with the ball. Just couldn't get that ball up there. So it's Glenn both have the ball now to Derek Fox. Derek Fox will give it that touchline side, but that ball's miles too hard, so it's the ball back. So number 7 there, Royce Underwood feeding the scrum on the halfway line, coming this side now to number 6 there, John Joyner, back inside there to Grant Anderson. That's good play by Grant Anderson. Tony Marchant now to John Joyner there to Dave Sampson. Dave Sampson trying to run it in hard. But Carl Allison there making the tackle, so it's Kevin Beardmore now to number 10 there, Kenny Hill. Kenny Hill there to number 13, Martin Ketridge, but that's good tackling by Rovers. Trevor Clark there, right round the boot laser. So it's Kevin Ward, that big thrust in that there to Royce Underwood. Royce Underwood, that quick ball out. Castleford really on the rampage, leading by 4 points to 0. Just looking down here, Ian Smale looking a bit groggy on his feet. So it's John Joyner, beautiful ball there to David Druckley, but David Druckley there taking that ball half-heartedly. Derek Fox making the tackle. So the ball back there to Royce Underwood. Royce Underwood, it's all on that little chip over, but Graham Stedman back there for that ball. Taking that ball there, tremendous amount of pressure on him, but he never took his eye off the ball at Graham Stedman. So it's Paul Newell from acting half-back. So it's John Bastian now trying to hit him, just looking across there. Duncan Fisher, the Featherstone Rovers physio there, just walking in. Smells off the pitch. So it's Derek Fox back inside there for Carl Addison, but Carl Addison tackled there by Beefy England. So it's Derek Fox with the ball now there to Glenn Both, but Glenn Both there tackled 10 yards short of his own 25-yard line. It's Trevor Clark now back there to Graham Stedman. Graham Stedman there. Oh, and he seemed to be tackled way off the ball in Graham Stedman. And Graham Stedman's flat out there on the field. Number 13 there, Martin Ketridge there. Absolutely flat, and Graham Stedman. Martin Ketridge there being sent to the sin bin for 10 minutes. Penalty kick to Featherstone Rovers. But what I couldn't understand is the referee saw that incident and he wasn't going to do anything about it. The touch judge had to come on. Featherstone Rovers having to make a substitution. Danny Beach coming on, and for that tackle there on Ian Smales, seemed to hit him round the throat area. So here we are, Graham Stedman, Martin Ketridge being sent to the sin bin for 10 minutes. Here we are, composing himself, striking the ball straight between the middle. Castleford 4, Featherstone Rovers 2. So there we are, David Ruckley getting ready to restart this game. The ball there, Chris Bibb there just taking his time, picking that ball up, making sure he doesn't fumble the ball over his own try line. So it's Graham Stedman there trying to get his forwards running up to the ball, but Castleford tackling like tigers here in this first quarter of the game. It's still Castleford 4, Featherstone Rovers 2. So it's Trevor Clark going from acting half-back. Pushes Tolman out of the way, but number 12 there, Beef England, just makes the tackle. So it's Derek Fox with the ball now there to Graham Stemmer. Graham Stemmer looking for that touchline side. David Druckley there running back for the ball. The ball's bouncing and bouncing. But there we are there, number 5 there, Chris Chapman getting back for that ball. Just about tackled on his own 25-yard line. Number 3 there, Alan Banks making the tackle. Followed that kick up straight away. And that's good tackling there. Derek Fox round the boat laces. So it's Castleford, that's the second tackle. David Druckley with the ball now, trying to make progress at the halfway line. That's the third tackle. Well, there we are now, Beef England. A good 10-yard run that by Keith England. Oh, Castleford now, the ball back there to David Druckley. Big boat downfield, keeping the ball low. And there we are, Paul Hughes having to turn around for that ball, but Paul Hughes here being tackled just short over his own 25-yard area. So it's Chris Bibb there from acting half-back, he'll run it in. But that's the second tackle, Castleford tackling well. Number 5 there, Chris Chapman. Dave Sampson at the tackle. And that's bad. It's a bad mistake there by John Bastian, losing that ball. So it's putting Castleford back in control again. Kevin Ward there trying to fight his way out of tackles. That's a good drive there by Castleford. Number 8 there, Kevin Ward. Now it's number 12 there, Keith England, up to that Rovers 25-yard line. It's still Castleford 4, Featherstone Rovers 2. Big number 11 there, Dean Sampson. Number 10 there now, Kenny Hill. Featherstone player Kenny Hill, Featherstone like Kenny Hill, getting that ball back there. Derek Fox there, knocking that ball on there, getting that ball out there to Chris Bibb. Number 11 there, Glenn Bull, pinching that ball off of Kenny Hill, but getting that ball out there to Derek Fox. Derek Fox there, just knocking the ball on. So once again, pressure on this Featherstone Rovers try line once again with Roy Sutherland to feed the scrum. The ball's out to Castleford now. Number 6 there, John Joyner to David Druckley. David Druckley there, taking his opposite number on there, Chris Bibb, but number 6 there, Graham Stedman coming across to help him. So it's number 8 there, Kevin Ward. He must have been fired up before this match. Kevin Ward's in everything in this first quarter of the game. So it's John Joyner there doing the run around. Beautiful play that by Castleford, interchanging that. Gets up, plays the ball. Now the Castleford surge is on. Number 13, Martin catches, but that ball going to go. And Paul Newell back to that ball. Paul Newell still going. Paul Newell picks the ball up. Paul Newell still going. Back inside there to Trevor Clark. This is great stuff, that. Absolutely fantastic play that by Paul Newell and Trevor Clark. Plays that ball to Paul Newell to Graham Stedman. Back inside there to Derek Fox. Derek Fox shoving one out, shoving Tommy off. Derek Fox still going. And number 4 there, Giles Bowthroyd makes the tackle. Graham Stedman now there to Peter Smith, taking out that ball, and it's another knock on. But that was absolutely fantastic play, that first by Paul Newell and Trevor Clark there. Is there better backer up in the league than Trevor Clark playing the rugby league today? I say there isn't. Trevor Clark absolutely fantastic there. Absolutely run 20 yards there to get to Paul Newell to take that return pass. And that's one again there to Derek Fox. Derek Fox there to Graham Stedman. Graham Stedman trying to jink his way through. And once again, Roy Sutherland there tackling Graham Stedman round the head. So it's big John Bastian now driving it in. That's good running by John Bastian. So it's Trevor Clark with the ball now there to Derek Fox. Derek Fox, that long ball out there now to Paul Newell, but number 3 there makes the tackle, Grant Anderson. So it's Derek Fox now attacking up at Derek Fox now back inside there to number 10, Carl Addison. Carl Addison there just pushes John Joyner off like a fly off a wall. Just slotting him off that time. So it's Trevor Clark to Derek Fox now to Peter Smith. Peter Smith there to Graham Stedman, but that's good tackling by number 4, Giles Bowthroyd. Back in there to Peter Smith, back inside there to Chris Bibb. Chris Bibb going for that try line, dummy in one way. Gut play that by Chris Bibb and Peter Smith interchanging. So it's Derek Fox, that little kick through. But number 8 there, Kevin Ward, knocking the ball down. That's tremendous pressure by Featherstone Rovers. So it's number 11 now, Dave Sampson trying to bring this ball away now for Castleford out of his own 25-yard area. Featherstone Rovers seem to have settled down that little bit better, and it's all on there. Carl Allison, bad mistake by Castleford. Can Featherstone Rovers score the first try this afternoon? Number 12 there. John Bastian tackle inches short of that Castleford try line. So it's Derek Fox interchanging now, number 13, Peter Smith, has he scored? Tackle inches short, referee right on the spot. Number 10 there, Kenny Hill, right under his arms. Plays the ball back there to Trevor Clark there to Peter, to Derek Fox there to... But Alan Banks there, losing that ball. Castleford swarm Featherstone there, every man there moving up very, very quickly. And that's good play there by David Druckley from acting half-back. Chatters both road there, but it's up to Featherstone Rovers to keep him pinned down here. Big Kevin Ward down the middle. This is good play by Kevin Ward there to David Druckley. Beautiful tackle there to Graham Stedman after him. And Graham Stedman makes the tackle, but he scores the try. Number 3 there, Grant Anderson. Absolutely fantastic break there by Kevin Ward to David Druckley. Interchanging, and Grant Anderson took the final pass there, but Graham Stedman there diving to tackle him, but them long arms there of number 3 there, Grant Anderson, just making the try. So there we are, number 1, David Druckley, converting that. So here we are, Graham Stedman restarting this game. Just to show you how this game can fluctuate. Featherstone Rovers pounding that Castleford try line, and that big break by Kevin Ward down the middle. And Featherstone Rovers are going to have to do some tackling now to stop this. There we are again, number 8 there, Kevin Ward, yet again having a go. Coming down the middle, gets up, plays the ball very, very quickly. And Castleford did throwing the ball out, but Peter Smith making a beautiful tackle that time. Number 12 there, Keith England. So it's Kevin Beardmore back there to David Druckley. Big boot downfield. Chris Bibb there taking that ball first bounce. It's Castleford 10, Featherstone Rovers 2. So Chris Bibb there down. Chris Bibb through the gap. Chris Bibb still going, but that's a fantastic tackle there. I think it was Chris Chapman what made the tackle. So it's Paul Hughes now, 5 yards inside Castleford's half of the field. So it'll be Trevor Clark now from acting half back now to Derek Fox. Derek Fox, that change, switcher play there to number 10 there, Carl Allison. Carl Allison pushing one out of the way. Carl Allison still going. Just couldn't get that ball up there. So it's Trevor Clark now there to Derek Fox there to Jeff Grayson there to Peter Smith. Peter Smith there to Graham Stedman. Graham Stedman taking his man on. Graham Stedman there taking number 3 on there. Grant Anderson, but Graham Stedman being tackled there just about on that Castleford 25-yard line. So it's Paul Newell with the ball now to Peter Smith. Peter Smith there to Derek Fox. Derek Fox there to John Bastian. Well, that's got tackling by Castleford there. Number 10 there, Kenny Hill. Watched him all the way. So it's Derek Fox now. And Derek Fox there kicking that ball. David Druckley just touching there, but letting that ball run dead. So it's a tap penalty now. So it's Kevin Ward. Got tackle that by Carl Allison there on Kevin Ward, but not before he got that ball inside there to Kevin Beardmore. So it's Kenny Hill with the ball now, but Carl Allison making the tackle. So it's Martin Kettrick's turn to drive it in. Too many players in front of Martin Kettrick that time though. Len both, Derek Fox. So it's Roy Sutherwood using that touchline side. That's a beautiful kick by Roy Sutherwood, making Featherstone turn back there. Just about 23 minutes gone in this first half. It's still Castleford 10, Featherstone Rovers 2. So it'll be Derek Fox winning that scum there to Graham Stedman. Graham Stedman, that big kick downfield. But that's no good there. Ball wasn't direct. Chris Chapman there getting back for that ball, away to that ball. That's got tackling that by Chris Bibbon. Chris Chapman there making the tackle. So it's David Druckley now there to Tony Marchant. Tony Marchant trying to go down the middle, but that's gut tackling that by Rovers number 4 there, Porniolov, so it's David Druckley now to Martin Kettridge, but Porniolov making the tackle, back inside there to Dean Sampson there, swivels round, but not before Peter Smith had made the tackle, so it's Kevin Bairbo now from acting half-back now to number 12 there, B for England down the middle, that's a good break by B for England, that's good backing up by Castleford, good tackle there by Rovers number 11 there, Glenn Booth. So it's Kevin Ward yet again, back inside, it's Castleford throwing this ball about. But referee there spotting a forward pass. So it's Derry Fox to feed the scrum. It's Archer Featherstone Rovers once again. Chris Bibb with that ball. Chris Bibb trying to go down the middle, but no way through that Castleford defence. Oh, that's a bad ball. Peter Smith there having to bend down for that ball, just being tackled just short of his own 25-yard line. Kevin Ward there and Keith England involved with that tackle, so it's John Bastian there, back inside there to Derek Fox there, back inside there from Derek Fox there to Alan Banks there to Jeff Grayson coming down the middle, that's a good turn of speed by Jeff Grayson, absolutely fantastic play by the Rovers number 8, back inside there. So Castleford getting that ball once again. Bad mistake by Featherstone Rovers. One pass too many. So it's Castleford now with Keith England. Jeff Grayson making the tackle. Helped out by there, John Bastian. So it's Kevin Bairbo now to Dean Sampson. Dean Sampson running in, but John Bastian there and Carl Allison making the tackle. So it's Kevin Bairbo now from acting half back now to number 10 there, Kenny Hill back inside there to Kevin Beardmore there running towards this blind hand side of the field, but that's good tackling by Rovers there. Carl Allison into that tackle, so it's number 7 there, Roy Sutherwood, that big kick over, it's all on, the ball just going to beat everybody though, rolling debt, so it'll be a Featherstone Rovers tap out on their own 25-yard line. I must say, every time we get into that Featherstone Rovers 25-yard area, looking very dangerous indeed, still leading by 10 points to 2. So it's Trevor Clark now from acting half back inside there to Derek Fox. Nobody to pass the ball to there. Dean Sampson making the tackle. So it's Trevor Clark now going from acting half back inside there to Derek Fox making himself available yet again. Back inside there to Trevor Clark. Ooh, Trevor Clark just going to get that ball up there for Glenn Bolt now. Graham Stemmer going from acting half back. Graham Stemmer throw the gap. But Castleford recovered quickly there. Number 9 there, Kevin Beardmore. So it's Derek Fox with the ball now. Derek Fox there to Peter Smith. Peter Smith there taking him on. Just couldn't get that ball up there for Danny Beach and Porniolov. So it's Porniolov now to Derek Fox. Derek Fox saw Tony Marchant off his line. And did Tony Marchant touch that ball with his hand? No, the scrum's formed. It'll be Roy Sutherwood to feed the scrum. But good thinking that by Derek Fox saw that Tony Marchant were off his line. So there we are, the ball's in, it's hard to Castleford this time. So it's Roy Sutherwood there taking Peter Smith on, but Peter Smith makes the tackle. Tony Marchant now in off his wing, off from acting half back round the blazers by Derek Fox there. Castleford on their own 25-yard line, still winning by 10 points to 2. So the ball back there to Kevin Beardmore, back there to David Druckley. Once again, that big kick downfield, using this very strong wind. The ball's rolling and rolling and rolling. Chris Bibb there getting back for that ball, picks it up inside his own try line area. Chris Bibb running it out. Well, nearly made a mess of that, did Chris Bibb, but a good recovery. So it's number 5 there, Paul Hughes, being tackled there by Castleford number 10, Kenny Hill. So it's Derek Fox with the ball now there to Glenn Booth, but Glenn Booth tackled just short of his own 25-yard line. Keith England in at the tackle. So it's Jeff Grayson's turn to run it in. Jeff Grayson popping that ball up there to Peter Smith. Peter Smith through the gap. Peter Smith round the man there to Derek Fox. And Derek Fox, a ball intercepted there by Kevin Ward. Kevin Ward running for that try line. Ball back inside, and that's a knock on. Well, once again, a pass too many from Featherstone Rovers. Derek Fox trying to get that ball round the man. The ball there to Graham Stemmer there to Chris Bibb. Chris Bibb there trying to take David Druckley on, but David Druckley making the tackle. Gets up, plays the ball well there. So Graham Stedman trying to bring the ball out now to Trevor Clark. Trevor Clark there to John Bastian. So this is good tackling by Castleford, keeping Featherstone Rovers pinned in their own 25-yard area for periods of time. So it's Graham Stedman with the ball now there to Porniola. Porniola there, but too many men to beat this time. Dean Sampson and Kevin Ward round him. So it's Derek Fox now there to number 8 there, Jeff Grayson being tackled still on his own 25-yard line. So it's Derek Fox with the ball now. Derek Fox looking one way, looking the other, back inside there. What's happening here? Once again, Featherstone Rovers losing that ball. So it's Kevin Baymore now going from acting half-back. One or two Featherstone Rovers players seem to be hanging the edge down now, but they're only losing by 10 points to 2. Castleford still throwing this ball about. Martin Ketridge there. So it's Kevin Baymore now from acting half-back to that number 8 again, Kevin Ward. He's having a fine game tonight. And losing the ball in the tackle. Referee says play on. He seems to be tackled then. Well, to me, that should have been a scrum down. Kevin Ward seemed to lose that ball after a tackle. Referee says play on. And now it's Kenny with the ball. This is the surge now. And referee spotted that obstruction. Penalty kick to Featherstone Rovers. That's a let off for Featherstone Rovers. But just before then, Kevin Watt seemed to be tackled with the ball. And referee says play on. The ball went loose. So Graham Stedman with his penalty kick for Featherstone Rovers. Just about 10 minutes to go before half time. It's still Castleford 10, Featherstone Rovers 2. So that's good driving in that by Carl Harrison. So it's Trevor Clark now to Derek Fox. Derek Fox looking for runners now to Peter Smith. Peter Smith trying to come down the middle. Peter Smith back there to Derek Fox.
Bloody hellfire.
Roy Southernwood there making the tackle straight round the head again. So it's Graham Stedman going from acting half back. Graham Stedman back inside there to Trevor Clark. Trevor Clark through the gap. Trevor Clark. Trevor Clark, is he going to go all the way to Porniola? Oh, what a try! Absolutely brilliant try that. Oh, that was one for the textbooks, was that. Graham Stedman from acting half-back, and who was backing up? Yes, you've no need to guess it. A blind man can tell you who that was. That was Trevor Clark. And Trevor Clark can't tackle, throw that ball out there, and now Porniola took that ball. I thought he was on a... Got his icing boots on there on black ice there. He seemed to scuttle for that ball. And just took it and just run on a post to that trial. An absolutely brilliant try that by Porniola. Graham Stedman, Trevor Clark and Porniola. Absolutely magic that. So here we are, Graham Stedman right behind the kicker, but he's curling that ball just wide. Castleford 10, Featherstone Rovers 6. And the Featherstone crowd now getting behind this Featherstone Rovers team for the first time tonight. Something to shout about back into this game. One or two players were getting the edge down with about 5 minutes ago, but that try will surely lift them. Chris Bibb there making sure of that ball. Featherstone Rovers, that's the first tackle, still in their own 25-yard area, so it's Graham Stedman once again going from acting half-back. But number 12 there, Keith England, in at the tackle. So it's Peter Smith there, back there to Derek Fox. Derek Fox there coming down the middle. That's good play by Featherstone Rovers. And once again, Trevor Clark backing up. Lots of supporters shouting obstruction, but Derek Fox never crossed his man. Runs straight, so it's Peter Smith with the ball now. Peter Smith, that's a good dummy. Back inside there, Porniola there. But referee saying that Porniola knocking that ball on. So it'll be a scrum down halfway between the halfway line and the Featherstone Rovers 25-yard line. It'll be number 7, Troy Southernwood to feed the scrum. It's hard to Castleford to John Joyner. John Joyner looking for others now to number 3 there, Grant Anderson. But Porniola making the tackle and Graham Stedman also involved. So it's John Joyner now from acting half back now to Martin Ketridge. Martin Ketridge looking for others. Martin Ketridge straight through the gap there. Just pushed Glenn both off there as if he won there. Martin Ketridge still going. Fantastic. Fantastic run that by Martin Kettridge. Bad Rovers tackling that though to allow him to get to that position. It's number 12 there, Dean Sampson. This is a gut position for Castleford. It's up to Featherstone Rovers to keep him out. They've got to tackle like they've never tackled before now. Castleford really throwing this ball about. Roy Sutherland there looking for runners outside him here. This is good play now. That ball bounced up there for Keith England, but Keith England there tackled 10 yards short, but Keith England there right on the spot, the referee awarding the knock on. So the scrums.
Are you alright down here? No. Hey? Drop down. What?
So the scrums formed. It's out to Derek Fox there to Graham Stedman. Graham Stedman trying to come down the middle, but that's gut tackling once again. Martin Kettridge getting out of the pack very, very quickly to make that tackle. So it's Carl Harrison running it in, but being tackled just short of that own 25-yard line. Dean Sampson at the tackle, so it's John Bastian's turn now, but once again Kenny Hill wraps him up. So it's Glenn Booth now there to Peter Smith, that long ball out there to Graham Stedman, and Graham Stedman making an ash of that ball, knocking it on. So once again pressure back on this Featherstone Rovers defence. That scrum formed, it'll be Roy Sutherland this time to feed the scrum. And the ball's in. It's out to Castleford now, back there to John Joyner. John Joyner there to number 7, Roy Sutherland. Roy Sutherland there, trying to do the run around, but number 13 there, Peter Smith making the tackle. John Bastian there just making sure. John Joyner with the ball now, switching direction to Dee Sampson there to Keith England. Keith England trying to work this blind side, but Trevor Clark there wrapping him up round the legs and put Derek Fox on top. So it's Kevin Baymore now, that little dummy. Kevin Baymore still going there to Tony Marchant. Tony Marchant there taking Danny Beach on. But Danny Beach there and Jeff Grayson making the tackle between them. So it's Kevin Bayball now from acting half back now there to John Joyner. John Joyner looking for runners outside him. That's a good ball there to David Druckley. But Graham Stedman hanging on to that tackle. That's good play that by John Joyner, and David Druckley running onto that ball like a bullet out of a gun. So it's Kevin Bayball now there to Kevin Ward. Kevin Ward there trying to set a move up there, but that's good tackling by Featherstone Rovers. And Kevin Baymore losing that ball. The scrums form. Kevin Ward there trying to old man there. The referee and the Featherstone Rovers players there just throwing that ball to the ground, but referee right on the spot there. That's all. That's the change. Also, it's Peter Smith with the ball. So it's Trevor Clark now there to John Bastian, but Kenny Hill there, that's good tackling to Graham Stedman, to Alan Banks. Alan Banks here, cutting back inside. Alan Banks going down the middle. That's good play back by the Rovers, number 3. But Giles Boothroyd followed him all the way, making the tackle. Dean Sampson up miles offside there. Trevor Clark there with the ball now to Peter Smith there to Paul Newell. Paul Newell cutting back inside. Paul Newell still going back inside there to Trevor Clark. But Trevor Clark there just couldn't get that ball up there for Danny Beach. That's good play by Peter Smith, Paul Newell, and once again Trevor Clark. So it's Danny Beach on acting back now to Derek Fox. Derek Fox here to Jeff Grayson now there to Graham Stedman. Switching direction. Graham Stedman down the field. But number 12 there, Keith England making the tackle. Graham Stedman playing the ball back, kicking for this side of touchline side. So minutes ticking away now in this first half. It's still Castleford 10, Featherstone Rovers 6. And once again the scrums form. Roy Sutherland there to John Joyner. John Joyner there taking Chris Bibb there and Graham Stedman, but Graham Stedman throws him to the floor. So it's David Druckley now, this time to Martin Kettridge. Martin Kettridge, that's a good drive that by the Castleford number 13, but Peter Smith is opposite number there, wrapping him up. Gets up, plays the ball. David Druckley now switching direction to Kevin Baydmore there. This is good play by Castleford, but that's good play also by Featherstone Rovers. Graham Stedman there throwing Martin Kettridge down. No, it wasn't Martin Kettridge, it was Grant Anderson, so it's Kevin Ward now, but Glenn Both there wrestling with Kevin Ward. Also Carl Harrison. So Kevin Baymore going from acting half-back. Throws that ball back there to Roy Sutherland. Roy Sutherland there to Chris Chapman. Chris Chapman there going down that wing. But Featherstone Rovers there clustering round him. So it's Roy Sutherland now looking for that touchline side, but kicking more down the middle of the field. Looking for direction. Chris Bibb there, once again that fumble, but he takes it cleanly. So that's the first tackle. Derek Fox with the ball now. Dumbing one way, dumbing the other. Derek Fox coming down the middle, but Keith Keith England in his way, making the tackle. That's the second tackle. So it's Trevor Clark now. Trevor Clark looking for runs. Back inside there to John Bastian. John Bastian back there to Derek Fox. Derek Fox. That long ball out there to Danny Beach. Danny Beach cutting back inside. Danny Beach coming down the middle. That's good play by the Rovers. Number 14 there, Danny Beach. That's good play by Danny Beach. That long ball there from Derek Fox. So once again it's Derek Fox now. Nobody to turn to this side to Peter Smith. Peter Smith there to number 8, Jeff Creation. Turning round. Jeff Creation still going. That's good play by Featherstone Rovers. Seem to be a bit disorganised, but making something out of nothing that time. So it's Peter Smith there coming down the middle, but no way through. Keith England there in the way, making the tackle. It's still Castleford 10, Featherstone Rovers 6. So it's Trevor Clark now back there to Derek Fox. Derek Fox, that little kick through. It's all on David Druckley having to turn back for this ball. He's turned now to pick it up on his try line, trying to run it out, but Paul Newell there and Trevor Clark making the tackle. Graham Stedman, I should say, making the tackle. So it's Tony Marching, and once again Graham Stedman there makes the tackle. Paul Newell helping out. So it's David Druckley, but Carl Harrison there throws him to the ground. Ball back there to David Druckley. Big kick once again down the field. Chris Bibb, no mistake this time, taking it first goal. Chris Bibb running it out. But John Joyner there followed him all the way. In the tackle. So it's Derek Fox with the ball now there to Peter Smith. Peter Smith there just couldn't get that ball up there. Kevin Ward and Dean Sampson round his shoulders. So it's Trevor Clark now there to Jeff Creation. Back there to Derek Fox. Derek Fox down the middle. Derek Fox pops that ball up there for Carl Harrison. Carl Harrison there back inside there to Trevor Clark. Trevor Clark there to number 12 there. And it looked to me if John Bastian could have scored that try. Castleford offside. But to me, John Bastian could have gone all the way. So there we are, it was awful there to see that little break there. Once again, Derek Fox down the middle, Trevor Clark and John Bastian. I don't think he knew that he had a clear run to the line. That penalty there, Graham Stedman, straight between the middle. Castleford 10, Featherstone Rovers 8. And there goes the half-time out to that goal. Just coming now for Featherstone Rovers. Well, what a first half we've had. First Ian Smales, that high tackle on Ian Smales where he seemed to have a bad throat tackle. The referee says play on, but Ian Smales having to go off. And then we saw that nasty tackle on Graham Stedman there by Martin Kettridge. Resulted in 2 points for Featherstone Rovers. So 2 great tries there. One to Grant Anderson, one to Giles Boothroyd. A David Druckley conversion. Graham Stedman, 2 penalty goals, and that fantastic try by Paul Newell to bring the half-time score here from Weldon Road, Castleford. Castleford 10, Featherstone Rovers 8. Welcome back to Weldon Road for the second half of this exciting Stonebridge Championship game between Castleford and Featherstone Rovers. Castleford racing into a 10 points to 2 lead just before half-time. Then that brilliant try there by Paul Newell. And that penalty kick just on the outer there for Graham Stedman, bringing the Featherstone Rovers right back into this game. Castleford 10, Featherstone Rovers 8. They've been the half-time score. So it'll be Castleford's turn to kick off in the second half there. David Druckley getting ready to restart this game. Bang on 20 past 8 with my watch here at Castleford. So it's Featherstone Rovers now charging for that 25-yard line, but number 11 there, Dean Sampson, making the tackle there on Danny Beach. So it's Peter Smith. And number 12 there, Keith England, in at the tackle straight away. Gets up, plays the ball. Trevor Clark with the ball now there to John Bastian. But John Bastian there losing ground. Gets up, plays the ball. Kevin Ward involved with that tackle. Had a fine first half. Kevin Ward ball back inside there to Glenn Bull. Glenn Bull there, back there to Derek Fox. Derek Fox trying to come down the middle, but Kevin Ward there just picking him up. So it's Trevor Clark with the ball now, back there to Graham Stemmen all the time in the world. That big kick downfield. Castleford Joes this win a lot in the first half. It's up to Featherstone Rovers to keep Castleford pinned down in this half now. Chris Chapman trying to run it out, fumbling with that ball. That's good tackling. Alan Banks there and Paul Hughes make sure they were tackled. So it's number 4 now, Giles Boothroyd nearly through the gap. But number 11 there, Glenn Booth just making the tackle. So it's Kevin Beardmore now trying to get his forwards running onto this ball, but Featherstone Rovers tackling well. It's still Castleford 10, Featherstone Rovers 8. So it's Kevin Beardmore there going from acting half-back. Jeff Grayson and John Bastian making the tackle. Oh, Graham Stemman there tackling Dean Sampson. Referee there to Paul Hughes to get back here. So it's number 1 there, David Druckley kicking that ball downfield. Paul Hughes there, right underneath it, lost it in the spotlights there. Bro, Crispin getting that ball there, trying to run through Kenny Hill, and Kenny Hill in there, and John Joyner making the tackle. So it's Derek Fox with the ball now there to Paul Hughes. Paul Hughes there trying to run it up to his own 25-yard line, but number 6 there, John Joyner makes the tackle once again. So it's Derek Fox now back there. Featherstone Rovers, that's the 3rd tackle. And Glenn Booth there knocking that ball on well. Featherstone Rovers there in the first half kept losing the ball inside their own half of the field. That's another bad mistake there by Featherstone Rovers, losing that ball on the 3rd tackle. Puts Castleford in control of the ball. John Johnny with the ball now. That long ball out there to Grant Anderson there to Tony Marchant. Tony Marchant there, tackled by his opposite number there, Danny Beach. So it's Martin Kettridge out. Oh, he had a fine first half. That's good backing up there, David Druckley. Now we see the Castleford draw. Castleford 10, Featherstone Rovers 8. So it's Kevin Ward there. Kevin Ward trying to get that ball away, but Derek Fox tackling round his bootlaces. So it's Royce Underwood with the ball now to Martin Kettridge yet again. That's a good ball there to Kenny Hill. Kenny Hill's good. Forward pass. Referee right on the spot. Kenny Hill there thought it scored the try. And referee there penalising the Featherstone Rovers front row. Big Kevin Ward. Tackle inches short of that try line. So it's Castleford, referee penalising Rovers front 3 for getting down before they should have done. So it's Kenny Hill once again with that ball. He should have let that ball go that time. Crispin making the tackle. Now it's Dean Sampson striding towards that Featherstone Rovers try line, but that's good tackling by Featherstone Rovers. Jeff Grayson in at the tackle. So it's John Joyner, that long ball out there, number 4 there, Giles Boothroyd going for that try line. But that's good tackling there. Number 3, Alan Banks wrapping him up. So it's Roy Sutherland, that big kick across field. It's all on. But Danny Beach knocking that ball down. Castleford back to Warner. Paul Newell gets that ball. That's good play that by Paul Newell. Castleford should have had 6 more tackles. Danny Beach knocking that ball on. But Castleford also fumbling it. So Paul Newell dropping on that ball. Both sides making handling mistakes early on in the second half. But it's still Castleford 10, Featherstone Rovers 8. Ooh, that looked a bit high. But referee says play on there. Number 12 there, Keith England, right round the head, but referee says play on. So it's Jeff Grayson running it in. So now that all the fighting's calmed down, it's Catterville with this ball now to number 3, to Giles Bowthroyd. Barge over back inside there to Grant Anderson. Grant Anderson there being tackled there by Graham Stedman. So it's Kevin Beardmore now from Acton half back now to Kettridge there with the ball. That's a good drive there by Martin Kettridge. Featherstone Rovers playing a man short. Jeff Grayson being sent to the sin bin. So it's number 10 now, Kenny Hill with that ball, but Kenny Hill, that's a good tackle by Derek Fox here, throwing Kenny Hill to the ground. So it's John Joyner with the ball, that long ball out there now. That's good play by John Joyner to Dean Sampson, but Dean Sampson there giving Paul Newell a gift of a pass. And while all that fracas were going on, Featherstone Rovers, another Featherstone Rovers player left the field. I think it's Danny Beach. I think Danny Beach has left the field. So it's Trevor Clark, that's a backing up once again by Trevor Clark. Oh, Trevor Clark plays the ball back now, so it's Carl Addison. Carl Addison knocking him out. That's good play by Carl Addison now to Graham Stedman. Graham Stedman through the gap. Just couldn't straighten up. A lot of head-high tackling going off in this match tonight. So it's Derek Fox with the ball now. Derek Fox, that long ball out there to Peter Smith. Peter Smith just couldn't get that ball back. And Kevin Beardmore there fighting to get to play the ball. John Bastian knocking him down. So it's Royce Underwood there tapping that ball very, very quickly. Gary Sidor coming onto the field for, I think it's Danny Beach who's gone off. I just can't see. And Gary Sidor in the thick of the thing straight away. And Mighty's got to be in this match. Casa put in a tremendous amount of pressure on this Featherstone Rovers try line. So it's John Joyner trying to spray this ball out to Kevin Ward, turning back inside. Kevin Ward there getting a one-out pass up there. And it's Tony Marchant nearly through the gap. But Graham Stedman there not allowing to pass the ball. Now we see the Castleford draw once again. All this pressure. So penalty kick to Castleford now to be Martin Kettridge. John Joyner there just having a word with the referee. So Martin Kettridge putting that ball upright, wanting to put another 2 points on the board for Castleford. Here he goes, straight between the middle. Castleford 12, Featherstone Rovers 8. So Derek Fox restarting this game for Featherstone Rovers. That big kick up. Oh, that's a terrible mistake by Tony Marchant. Knocking that ball and seemed to have all the time in the world to catch the ball. As everybody says, it was straight into the breadbasket, but he knocked the ball on. So first time Featherstone Rovers have been into that Castleford 25-yard area in this second half. The ball's in. Just couldn't see what went off there. Derek Fox fed the scrum. Just put his flag up, but it's Royce Underwood putting the ball into the pack. So Royce Underwood trying to make a break. Royce Underwood down the middle of the field. Good little bit that by Royce Underwood. But Glenn Booth there just making the tackle. That's good running by Castleford. 2 tackles, they're halfway down the field. So it's Dean Sampson running it in. Dean Sampson losing that ball. Featherstone Rovers getting possession. That's a bad mistake by Dean Sampson. So it's Peter Smith now to Derek Fox. Derek Fox there to Trevor Clark. So it's Paul Newell from acting back now. Paul Newell going solo, trying to straighten up. So it's Derek Fox with the ball now. Derek Fox there to Gary Siddall, trying to go through the gap. But no way through there. Kevin Ward there making the tackle, so it's Peter Smith back there to Derek Fox. Derek Fox there to Graham Stemman pushing one man out of the way. Number 13 there, Martin Kettridge, or is it number 3, Grant Anderson? So it's Derek Fox with the ball now. That little kick throw. Paul Hughes after that ball. Chris Chapman after it. Chris Chapman having to pick the ball up. Chris Chapman there down the wing, but Paul Hughes makes the tackle. So it's Peter Smith wrapping him up. Featherstone Rovers playing a man short. Jeff Grayson still off the field. So it's Martin Kettridge there trying to bring it out of his own 25-yard area. It's up to Featherstone Rovers to keep him there. Taps the ball to his cell. That's a wasted tackle by Martin Kettridge. Just gaining about 2 yards with that tap penalty. So it's David Ruckley with the ball now. David Ruckley kicking that ball down the middle of the field. First bounce there, Chris Bibb there. That ball just missing his legs. Very awkward ball to take that time. So Chris Bibb there trying to straighten up. But Tony Marchant there making the tackle. So it's Glenn Booth there going from acting halfback. Once again, Tony Marchant in at the tackle. So it's Derek Fox with the ball now. Derek Fox there to John Bastian, but John Bastian going nowhere. Castleford tackling really well now. Number 9 there, Kevin Beardmore. Plays the ball there. Peter Smith down the middle of the park, but Kevin Ward in the way. So Trevor Clark with the ball now, back there to Derek Fox. Derek Fox, that big kick downfield. But the ball's going to beat David Ruckley, rolling and rolling dead. So it's up to Featherstone now to get organised for this Castleford tap out on their own 25-yard area. Kevin Ward taking his time, getting back. But that's good tackling by Featherstone Rovers there. Trevor Clark there on Dean Sampson. Kevin Beardmore now from acting halfback now to Kenny nearly through the gap, but Kenny tackled 10 yards short of that halfway line. Number 12 there, John Bastian making the tackle. Castleford still in charge of the ball though. So it's John Joyner back inside. Castleford in possession on the halfway line. So ball back there to David Ruckley. David Ruckley looking for this touchline side. The ball's rolling and rolling. Fantastic kick there by David Ruckley. Paul Hughes, Derek Fox, no chance of getting that ball. Just looking on the first touchline side. Jeff Grayson getting ready to come back onto the pitch. Just about 25 minutes left for playing this match. It's still Castleford 12, Featherstone Rovers 8. And Derek Fox feeding that scrum. The ball's out there to Derek Fox there to Graham Stemman. Graham Stemman there, dumbing one way. Number 6 there, John Joyner making the tackle. And Jeff Grayson come back onto this pitch now. So it's Paul Newell there going from acting halfback tackle 10 yards short of his own 25-yard line. Trevor Clark with the ball now to Derek Fox. Derek Fox, that long ball out there to Jeff Grayson. Jeff Grayson there trying to push 2 or 3 Castleford players off. So Derek Fox, that little shimmy there, but number 10 there, Kenny Hill making the tackle, and Keith England. Ball back there to Graham Stemman, that big boot downfield. Sort that out, David Ruckley. That ball there being lost in the floodlights there. Tony Marchant taking that ball, first bounce. But Paul Newell makes a tackle. Peter Smith also up there very, very quickly indeed. So it's Castleford in possession now, about 20 yards from the halfway line. So it's Kettridge coming down the middle of the park. But Trevor Clark there just... Well, here we go, Martin Kettridge there kicking towards his touchline side. It's still Castleford 12, Featherstone Rovers 8. Now it's Dean Sampson running it in. But Alan Banks there wrestles him to the ground. Jeff Grayson in the tackle also. So it's Kevin Beardmore now with the ball there to Keith England. That's good running by Keith England. The referee getting in the way. That's good running by Keith England. Now it's Kevin Ward with the ball. Beardmore now from acting half back. That long ball out there to John Joyner. John Joyner there to Martin Ketch's there to number 4 there. But that's good tackling by Glenn Bolt on Giles Boothroyd. Stopping man and ball. They seem to have an overlap, Dick Castleford, but Giles Boothroyd decided to run the ball inside. So it's Roy Sutherland now. I'm sure little drop goal coming up here. That long ball out there. It's obstruction. Looked like obstruction to me, did that. Referee says no, play on. And that's John Bastian. That's the first tackle. Trevor Clark from acting half back now to Derek Fox. Derek Fox coming down the middle. Derek Fox still going. Getting that ball up there to Gary Siddall. Derek Fox with the ball now there to Jeff Grayson. Beautiful play by Jeff Grayson. Back inside there to Derek Fox. Derek Fox there taking David Druckley on. Once again, a Featherstone Rovers player flat out in the middle of the park. I think it's Jeff Grayson, so it's Peter Smith now there to Porniolov. Porniolov there taking his opposite number on there, but Porniolov being tackled just on that touchline side. So it's Peter Smith there to Trevor Clark. Trevor Clark there to Derek Fox. Derek Fox, that little kick over. It's all on. Just looking back there, Jeff Grayson getting back on his feet. Oh, it's Castleford now in their own 25-yard area. David Druckley trying to run it out. But John Bastian there and Paul Yoles making the tackle. So it's David Druckley gets up, plays the ball. Number 4 there, Giles Boothroyd going from acting half-back. Alan Banks there making the tackle. So it's Beefy England there running it in. Jeff Grayson there and Gary Siddall. So it's David Druckley. That big kick downfield. That's good play that by Glenn Booth running back for that ball. Glenn Booth now. Good ball there to Chris Pipp. Chris Pipp coming across field trying to straighten up. But no way through this Castleford defence. It's still Castleford 12, Featherstone Rovers 8. Peter Smith there. Beautiful take that by Peter Smith. So it's Derek Fox now there, back there to Graham Stenman. So it's Trevor Clark now to Carl Addison. Carl Addison trying to go through the middle. Trying to get that ball up there to Gary Siddall. So it's Trevor Clark now from acting half-back now there to Graham Stenman. Graham Stenman it to John Bastian. John Bastian back there to Graham Stenman. Dean Sampson making the tackle there to Chris Pipp. Chris Pipp trying to go down the middle. Chris Pipp going down. Chris Pipp going down the middle. Chris Pipp on the long run. That's good play by Chris Pipp, beating 3 Castleford tacklers there. Gets up, plays the ball. Alan Banks now to Derek Fox. Derek Fox, that little kick through. Porniolov after that ball. Porniolov still going. Tony Marchand there getting back for that ball. And Featherstone Rovers penalising Porniolov there for being offside. Oh, there we are, another penalty kick to Castleford. Martin Ketchage reaching touch with that penalty kick. So once again, Castleford in charge of the ball. So it's big Kevin Ward. That's good tackling that by Gary Siddall straight round the bootlaces. So it's Dean Sampson turn to run it in, but and they've lost the ball. Gary Siddall getting that ball for Featherstone Rovers. So it's Derek Fox with the ball now. That long ball out there to Peter Smith there to Porniolov. Paul Newell being tackled there by Tony Marchant. Just about on the halfway line. Peter Smith now there to Derek Fox, back inside there to number 10, Carl Harrison. That's good running by the Featherstone Rovers, number 10. So it's Peter Smith now there to Derek Fox, there to Jeff Grayson. Derek Fox there to Graham Stenman. Graham Stenman trying to straighten up. Back there to Derek Fox. That's good play by Derek Fox. Derek Fox through the gap. Just good play by Derek Fox. So it's Graham Stenman threatening to kick the ball, and Graham Stenman there being tripped, going for that ball. David Drucker getting that ball. So it's Keith England there, that long ball out there to Grant Anderson. Grant Anderson tackled on that touchline side. It's still Castleford 12, Featherstone Rovers 8. Dean Sampson there running it in. Number 4 there, Paul Newell making the tackle. Total Kenny Hill down, using the blind side. Kenny Hill going down that blind hand side of the field, but Gary Siddall there making the tackle. Royce Underwood, that big up and under towards them Featherstone Rovers post. It's all on. Chris Bibb there letting that ball bounce. Chris Bibb running it out. Seemed to lose the ball once again over his shoulder, but recovered very well indeed. So it's Derek Fox down the middle. Derek Fox, that's a good run by Derek Fox. So it's Trevor Clark now there to John Bastian. John Bastian's turn to run it down. That's good running by John Bastian. Just couldn't get that ball up there for Peter Smith. Alan Banks there now, fumbling the ball, but it's all on. It went backwards. So it's Derek Fox there to Paul Newell. Paul Newell round one man. Paul Newell back inside. But number 2 there, Tony Marchant, recovered well to make the tackle. So it's Graham Stenman with the ball now. Graham Stenman now there to Peter Smith. So the ball there back to Graham Stenman. Graham Stenman, that big kick downfield. It's all on. It's all on. It's all on. It's all on. I've never seen no like that in your bloody life.
Tell you what, well, it'll be my last game, but it will be my last game.
Well, that was all bloody right. Well, to me, that was one of the biggest farces I've seen all the time watching the game. James Stenman seemed to kick the ball downfield. The Castleford player got an hand to the ball. Featherstone Rovers player caught the ball. Referee gave him offside, awarded the scrum. It should have been play on. Castleford there seemed to play the man on side. Resulting from the scrum, Castleford's ball. So it's Kevin Beardmore now from acting halfback now to number 7, Roy Southernwood. Roy Southernwood, that little dummy. Kevin Ward there racing towards that Rovers try line there. That's good pick up there. And that looked a miles forward, did that pass. Number 15 there, Phil Murphy coming on the field, but that looked a mile forward. So that ball out there to Featherstone Rovers. Graham Stenman taking his man on. Graham Stenman taking his man. Graham Stenman, that's good play by Graham Stenman, beating John Joyner from that set scrum. So it's Chris Bibb now there to Derek Fox, changing direction now to Graham Stenman. Graham Stenman there to Carl Harrison. No, it didn't count. Jeff Grayson losing that ball in the tackle. I don't know how you do it.
Hey, is it freshman? Wait, what's his name?
So it's Royce Underwood now with the ball out there, that long ball out there to Grant Anderson, turning back inside. Gary Sidor making the tackle, so it's David Ruckley with the ball now to number 15, Phil Murphy. It's Casavert still 20 yards from that Featherstone Rovers try line. Putting all the pressure on this Rovers try line. John Joyner there going for Martin Harpack there. Number 10 Kenny Hill there to number 12 Beefy England. Beefy England back there to Kenny Hill. Kenny Hill going for that try line. Back up there. This is Casavert at the best there. Tony March with the ball now. Tony March coming back inside to number 8 there. Kevin Ward. Kevin Ward there back there to Phil Murphy, and Phil Murphy knocking the ball on. Featherstone Rovers getting possession. So there we are, just that solitary Martin Kedrich penalty goal in the second half. Castleford 12, Featherstone Rovers 8, so it's Gary Sidor with the ball now. But being tackled on his own 25-yard line. Plays the ball back, Trevor Clark now there to Derek Fox, back inside there to number 8, Jeff Grayson. Jeff Grayson back there to Trevor Clark, to Derek Fox there to Peter Smith there to Alan Banks. Alan Banks having to change direction, going down the middle. Alan Banks back inside there to Trevor Clark. But Castleford tackling well, Kenny Hill there making the tackle. So it's Jeff Grayson now to Derek Fox there to Peter Smith, back there to Derek Fox. Derek Fox there being tackled there by Roy Southernwood. So that's good play between Gary Sidor and Carl Allison. Carl Allison throwing that ball down. Castleford's ball. Martin Ketch is there in command. Back inside there to David Druckley. Number 15 there, Gary Sidor making the tackle. So it's Kevin Ward, but that's good tackling that by Peter Smith straight round the ball later. Kevin Beardmore with the ball now to Roy Southernwood there to Phil Murphy. Once again there, Derek Fox wrapping him up. Castleford once again pinned on this Featherstone Rovers try line. John Joyner, that long ball out there. That's good play to Tony Marchant going for that try line, but Tony Marchant tackled 5 yards short. Quick play the ball, Castleford spinning this ball out wide now. Number 3 there, Grant Anderson fighting to play. Oh!
He's saying, come on lads, you've got penalty, get up there. Well, I've got to he's coming to play the bloody ball.
So there we are, another penalty kick awarded there to Castleford. Martin Ketchis seems to be taking his time with this goal kick. Here he goes, strikes the ball straight between the middle. Castleford 14, Featherstone Rovers 8. So there we are, James Stedman kicking this ball off, and that's bad mistake by Castleford.
Offside, ref! Give a penalty! Yes, it was, you're right. What are you talking to referee for? Young John. Young Jordan. Right there, what's young Jason going up at feet? Get on with it! Let's have a chat with him occasionally, John.
David Ruckley there kicking that ball out. Glenn Booth there tapping it with his foot, picking it up straight away. That's good play by Glenn Booth. So it's John Bastian just about on that Castleford 25-yard line. It's Castleford 14, Featherstone Rovers 8. So it's Derek Fox with the ball now. That short ball out there to Peter Smith, but Peter Smith there So it's Derek Fox with the ball now. Derek Fox there to number 8 there, Jeff Gracie, but that's gut tackling that. Number 15, Phil Murphy there making the tackle. So it's Graham Stemman there trying to go through this Castleford defence. Gets that ball out there to Derek Fox. Derek Fox, that dummy. Derek Fox going for them posts. Derek Fox tackled 2 yards short. So it's Carlisle with the ball now there to Peter Smith. Peter Smith now to Alan Banks. Alan Banks having to turn back inside. Still going. Alan Banks going for them posts. Alan Banks going all the way. Oh, Alan Banks has he scored. That's the 6th and last tackle. Oh, that was a close thing. Alan Banks there tackled. He's just short of that try line.
Getting it.
So it's Castleford's turn now to beat away from their own post. Kevin Ward there being turned back inside. That's good tackling by Featherstone Rovers. And Kevin Ward didn't like that. Ball back there to David Druckley. David Druckley, that big kick downfield. And Glenn Bolt picking that ball up. Glenn Bolt having to run it in, being tackled on the halfway line. Tony Marchant making the tackle. So it's Paul Newlove now back there to Derek Fox. Derek Fox there to Graham Stemmer. Graham Stemmer throw the gap. Graham Stemmer still going. Graham Stemmer trying to straighten up. But the Castleford defence getting back. Graham Stemmer still going. So it's number 12 now there, John Bastian. Featherstone coming more into this game now. I'm sure another try and a goal at this junction in the match. So it's Peter Smith there back now. That ball there to Chris Bibb there to Alan Banks. Alan Banks now to Paul Hughes. Paul Hughes having to come back inside. No room to work. So it's Chris Bibb now from Acton back now to Derek Fox. Derek Fox there to Jeff Grayson. Jeff Grayson there to Carl Allison. Carl Allison there. Can he pop that ball up to Derek Fox? Derek Fox going to try! Get it, Derek lad! That's the try what Featherstone wanted. And just look at them supporters behind them posts. Castleford 40, Featherstone Rovers 12.
This is this.
And you're on about pressure kicks. He's getting the wolf whistles here from the crowd. James Stemman composed himself. Here he goes. Straight between the middle. Featherstone Rovers 14. Castleford 14. Five minutes left for playing this match. Well, all this pressure what Castleford's had in this second half. Score being 10-8 at half time. Them 2 penalty goals to Martin Kettridge, but that brilliant try once again, Derek Fox. So it's Paul Newlove taking that ball there, trying to run it out up to his own 25-yard line. Graham Stemman coming more into this game. The back end of this second half now, but being tackled there just short of that own 25-yard line. Phil Murphy making the tackle. That's the second tackle. Derek Fox with the ball. Derek Fox now there to Jeff Grayson. Wow, Featherstone Rovers are pinned down there. They can't score. Castleford know that. That's the third tackle. So it's Gary Sidor now. So to James Stemman to put bolt to ball, get it down that middle of the park. Throw the ball back there to Graham Stemman. Graham Stemman straight down the middle of the field. That's where the ball wants to be. While the ball's down there, Castleford can't score. David Druckley picking that ball up. That's a good pick up by David Druckley. Running it out there to Chris Chapman. Chris Chapman there, but being bundled down there. That's good tackling there by Carl Harrison. So it's up to Featherstone now to keep him pinned down there. Giles Boothroyd's running it in. But Giles Boothroyd being met there by Peter Smith and John Bastian. That's the second tackle, so it's Kevin Beardmore now there to number 13, Martin Kettridge. That's the third tackle. Castleford 10 yards inside their own half of the field. Kevin Beardmore now from acting halfback. Ball back there now to John Joyner, looking for runners there outside him. Tony Marchant there, slipping with just before the halfway line there, so that's Castleford now. That's the fifth tackle. This is the last tackle now. It's up to Featherstone Rovers to get reorganised. Castleford's going to kick this ball down deep. Roy Southernwood. That big kick down, but that's good positioning play by Glenn Booth. Glenn Booth running it in over the own 25-yard line, still going. So that's the first tackle. Just about 2 or 3 minutes left for playing this match. Derek Fox with the ball now. That long ball out there to Peter Smith. No daft things in his own 25-yard line. Peter Smith knows that. He kept hold of that ball. I'm sure Featherstone Rovers will want to point out to this match for all their effort. That's good running by Carl Harrison. Good tackle though by Kenny Hill. So it's Derek Fox looking for that touchline side. That's a good kick by Derek Fox. He knows where he wants to put that ball. Like I said before, Castleford can't score while they're up there. So it's David Drucker getting that ball there to Tony Marchant. Tony Marchant cutting back inside. So to Featherstone to keep him pinned down there. Well, if anybody's heart's beating in faster than mine in the ground, I'd like to see him. It's going 10 to the dozen here. Castleford 14, Featherstone Rovers 14. Surely Featherstone Rovers don't deserve to lose this match tonight. Battle again, all the odds at 2 men gone off injured. Ian Smells first, then Danny Beach went off. And that's a big kick down. Glenn Booth there picking that ball up. He's on his own 25-yard line. He's trying to run it out. That's good play by Glenn Booth once again. So Chris Bim now from acting halfback now there to Jeff Grayson. Jeff Grayson there up, trying to reach that halfway line. Gets up, plays the ball. Trevor Clark now there to Derek Fox. Derek Fox there to number 10, Carl Harrison. Carl Harrison through the gap. Carl Harrison there to Graham Stedman. Graham Stedman there to Derek Fox, turning back inside. That's good play by Carl Harrison, Graham Stedman and Derek Fox. Castleford 14, Featherstone Rovers 14. Trevor Clark now going from acting halfback. Trevor Clark there to Carl Harrison. Are we going to see a drop goal attempt here? Derek Fox hanging back. Trevor Clark there, back there to Graham Stedman. Graham Stedman trying to drive Stedman through the gap. Oh, that was a close thing. 1 minute, 2 minutes left for play. Derek Fox with the ball. Can he score the goal? And it's just wide. So that'll be a tap out for Castleford on the own line. The second ticking away in this match now. How much injury time there's to go, we don't know. Castleford throwing that ball away. It's up to Featherstone to keep tackling them now. Get organised. Kevin Ward with the ball now. Plays that ball back. So it's Martin Kettridge now trying to run it out, but Alan Banks there smothering the ball. That's the second tackle. Giles Bowthroyd now back there to Roy Southernwood. Roy Southernwood there to number 15, Phil Murphy. But Phil Murphy tackled about 15 yards short of this halfway line. Derek Fox reorganising his defence there behind him. That's gut tackling by Gary Sidor round the bootlaces, throwing them to the floor. Just looking now, looking for runners inside him. John Joyner there trying to get his men going, but Peter Smith there making the tackle. This must be the sixth and last tackle. Beef England playing the ball back now. And that's a bad mistake. That's the changeover. That's the sixth and last tackle. That's a bad mistake by Castleford. Featherstone Rovers finishing the stronger of the two sides in this last few seconds of this match. So it's Gary Sidor running it in. 3 good drives, I'm sure, near them posts. That's all he wants. Peter Smith, he knows where to drive that ball. Want a big drive now from Carl Harrison underneath the post. And it's Jeff Grayson having a go. And it isn't Carl Harrison there losing that ball. But it's a knock-on. And there goes the full-time zone today from Castleford and Featherstone Rovers. Absolutely magnificent comeback in this game. Losing by 10 points to 2 at one time and by 14 points to 8. Try scored for Castleford, Grant Anderson, Giles Bowthroyd, a David Ruckley goal and 2 Martin Kettridge penalty goals in the second half. And for Featherstone Rovers, that brilliant try by Paul Newlove and that absolutely fantastic try by Derek Fox. And 3 Graham Stedman goals there to bring the The score here from Weldon Lane, and Featherstone Rovers have battled against all the elements to Castleford 14, Featherstone Rovers 14. And that 1 point here, this evening's match will make sure that Featherstone Rovers stop in the first division for next season.